Sir, in October 1991, reports were received indicating that the Uttar Pradesh government had acquired certain land in the Ram Janam Bhoomi Babri Masjid complex. Immediately, a report was called from the state government, and I personally wrote to the Chief Minister on 15th October 1991, drawing his attention to the various repercussions of the reported land acquisition and requesting him to take a fresh look at the desirability of the proposed acquisition, keeping in view particularly the pending court cases and the sensitive nature of the controversy. Replies were received from the state government and the chief minister himself. According to these replies, the land had been acquired for the purpose of development of tourism and providing amenities to the pilgrims at Ayodhya. The replies also assured that the state government has taken the necessary steps for ensuring the safety of the Ram Janam Bhoomi Babri Masjid structure. With a view to diffusing the situation and finding a solution, the Prime Minister convened a meeting of the National Integration Council on 2nd November 1991. The Supreme Court also passed an order on 15th November 1991 taking note of the interim order passed by the High Court and also of the assurances given by the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh in the meeting of the National Integration Council held on 2nd November 1991, which were taken as representation to the court. From time to time, the central government's concern regarding the security of the Ram Janam Bhoomi Babri Masjid structure was brought to the notice of the UP Chief Minister by me. I wrote to him on 13th November 1991, 26th December 1991 and 10th January 1992 during drawing his attention inter alia to the need to make adequate security arrangements for the Ram Janam Bhoomi Babri Masjid structure and prevent any damage to it during the religious festivals when large crowds were expected to gather at Ayodhya, and requesting him also to restore some of the barricades which had reportedly been removed in the Ram Janam Bhoomi Babri Masjid complex. The UP's Chief Minister stated in one of his replies that the necessary security steps had been taken keeping in mind the local circumstances of the situation. In February 1992, there were reports that the construction of a wall had been commenced by the Uttar Pradesh government or its agencies in Ayodhya. I had written to the Chief Minister on 23rd February 1992 stating that in the context of the tension prevailing on this issue, it may not be quite desirable to add to the apprehensions in the minds of the people, and I had requested him to reconsider this step so as to avoid such a situation. According to the Chief Minister's reply dated 10th March 1992, the construction of the wall is being undertaken in the context of the security arrangements for the dispute structure. He has stated that the state government does not think that the construction of the wall will give rise to any apprehensions. On the contrary, it will strengthen the security of the disputed structure. As yet, no tension has come to light as a consequence of the construction of this wall. Immediately after reports were received regarding demolition of certain structures in the Ram Janam Bhoomi Babri Masjid complex and the handling over of some land to the Ram Janam Bhoomi Nyas, the matter was immediately taken up with the state government. On 22nd March 1992, a wireless message was sent to the Chief Secretary UP asking for a factual report the same night. He was also contacted by officers of the Home Ministry on telephone the same night as well as the next morning, that is 23rd March 1992. The Chief Secretary provided some preliminary information on telephone and assured that a full factual report will follow. Another detailed message was again sent by the ministry asking for a comprehensive report. I also sent by fax a letter dated 23rd March 1992 to the Chief Minister. I drew the attention of the Chief Minister to the recent steps taken by the UP government in Ayodhya in the context of the court orders and the assurances given by him in the NIC meeting of 2nd November 1991 and requested him to kindly consider whether these steps should not await the final outcome of the court cases or the achievement of a negotiated settlement of the dispute. I appeal to all the members that we must avoid emotional outbursts or statements which could further aggravate the problem. We must exhibit calm and restraint when discussing this matter so that an acceptable solution of the problem can be found. Sir, the President's address has been discussed in this august House for 3 full days. I understand that 37 speeches have already been delivered. The debate has touched upon various aspects of the problems affecting our country. I have followed it with close interest and care. The President's address gives a picture of the country as a whole. It is intended to place before the House the full program for the future, the methods that we propose to adopt, the program for progress that has been chalked out, and the achievements that have so far been recorded. The picture like that has to be viewed from a correct angle. It is necessary that a sense of perspective and proportion should be maintained. If one does not try to take a balanced view of things or looks at the picture from an acute angle, then the judgment must be distorted. One should not allow his vision to be outstructed by individual happenings. The House has taken a favorable view of the address and it has commended itself to the approval and support of the good sense and wisdom of the House. I am grateful to the honorable members for their support in general to the basic policies which have been set forth in this address. During the last 6 or 7 years, there has been steadily a shift in the subjects that are dealt with in the address. The economic and the developmental issues have been coming more and more to the front. It is but proper that it should be so. An underdeveloped country has to give first place to the problems, solution of which will result in the satisfaction of hunger and the fulfillment of the needs of those who are suffering from lack of essential commodities needed even for bare sustenance. So, economic issues have naturally formed the most important part of this debate and various views about vital matters have been expressed, but basically all seem to be agreed. We want to establish a new rich socio-economic order, an order in which there will be a substantial share of the good things of life for everyone and in which all will be bound by the bonds of goodwill. So that is an objective which must necessarily appeal to every member of this House. Success will depend on increasing our production in all fields. We have to see that the advance towards social justice is not in any way hampered. For mere increase in production, unless it is accompanied by social justice, cannot result in equitable distribution. Even for providing adequate incentives, it is necessary that there should be a feeling in every man and woman in the country that there are better days in store for him or her. So, as we take these steps, we would have the active support of all who are in a position to work for the enrichment of the community. So, it calls not only for production but also for such measures as will ensure the welfare and goodwill of those who are in the backwaters today. Even for the proper use of production, it is necessary that there should be a measure of advance among the mass of the people, otherwise the goods produced will not be consumed and there will be no purchaser for them, and so production will shrink. It has been so in certain cases. When production is to be coupled with social justice, and we have big schemes and very ambitious projects to bring this about, there may be occasional jerks and jolts. We must not, on that account, get depressed. Institutional changes have to be made and other social steps have to be taken. So we should not get perplexed or confused by such contingencies in our onward march. There may be occasions when we may feel that everything is not smooth and that there are hurdles on the way. There are bound to be such hurdles. We have to go forward with faith, determination, and courage, and unless we make up our mind to follow resolutely the course that we have laid down, we shall not be able to achieve what we all desire. I hope there is no difference of opinion about the goal. Our goal is the achievement of a socialist democratic society. The country's goal, as it is even now laid down, is a socialist cooperative commonwealth. While working for economic advancement, we have to preserve the human values for which we have always stood. We have to see that the fundamentals of democracy are not impaired. Progress can perhaps be accelerated, and we can perhaps march forward even more quickly if we resort to coercive methods, have little regard for those fundamental values which, after all, matter more than anything material, and if we forget the lessons that were learnt by us in the days of our adversity. So we have to take care that the steps that we take are on regulated and sound lines.